In this video, I'll show you how to make a landscape such as this inside a Blender. So today we're totally using procedural things. We're not totally using procedural, but there's a lot of things that are going to be procedural. We're just going to enable some add-ons. So let's go here to the edit preferences add-ons, and then we're going to enable a few add-ons. First, you don't need this. You can pick up some textures from other places, but I will use some textures from the Blender Kit add-on, which is built into Blender. But I think most versions you now need to download, but they also have a website, which I'll link in the description. So now let's search for the Node Wrangler add-on. So just check mark that. You can see these add-ons I don't have checked because I don't need them. But for the Node Wrangler, just hit that, and also we need the landscape. So landscape, and there it is. We have right there checked. So just repeat the same process. What the Node Wrangler add-on does, it adds shortcuts to our materials and other features like that. The landscape add-on generates procedural landscapes. So let's pick up the cube. Let's hit X to delete, because probably if you don't know, Blender has like a weird rule that we all Blender users like to joke, that you always need to delete the default cube. And if you need a default cube, you need to delete the default and replace it. LOL. Let's get into right here. So open up, and you cannot click or move it or place it in another place, because this, I don't know why, but this menu just goes away. So let's go right here. Let's open the preferences right here. I'm going to choose mountain 2. So you can see that mountain is just like that, and we're just going to switch to a few of these mountains right here. So now we can press Shift A and add a plane if you're happy with the result. If you're not, just continue editing. You can see this is we can now edit this. So if you're not happy still yet with the shape, just replace it. But in this case, I'm going to use the this feature right here, which is just proportional editing, which is we can bring this down. So use your scroll on your mouse wheel to get kind of like right here, and there you go. Now it doesn't look very realistic because these are like right here and right here, but thankfully we could just edit them individually. So to add some more landscapeness to it, so let's just pull up to those, and also could make kind of like some nice landscape right there. So there you go. So now let's use some materials to make this material here for the island, for the water. It's very simple, and by the way, I do have an HDRI, which will be in the description. I didn't think I got it from Blender Kit. I don't know where I downloaded it from. I don't know if he even has a link, so I'll probably include a separate link for it. So we're going to rename this to water. Okay, so let's first things first. Right here on BSDF, we want this to be transparent, and this right here. These are our basic settings right here for BSDF. Also, you could start locating your position where to be. I think this looks kind of nice, so let's So grab our camera and then hit Control Alt Notepad 0, or you could also go to View, Align View, Active Camera, or to View, but it doesn't let us because we are ready to die. You need to position to separate view. So now let's continue on right here. We're going to add a bump node, a noise texture. And also we're going to use the Node Wrangler add-on. So hit Control T, and you can see that pops right there. If you don't want it, hit Control Z, but we want it. So bring also the factor to the normal, but this is not converted color data. This is just black and white data. So we need to convert it to normal data by putting a bump node right in front, and we're going to go right here, and this is not to the normal. We need to put a height since we want it to convert to height value, and there you go. Now you can see this is kind of weird because we need to position this to 400. Now you can see it has more ripples in it, and also bring the strength back to 0.2, I think. Yep, there you go. So that looks kind of good, and also throw the detail up to 15. So if we go to render view, it kind of looks good, you can see. But also we need to use the Blender kit's materials. We're just going to go over here and search for moss. I always like to use the moss textures. That looks good, but it doesn't, so let's go right here to top view and let's hit A, and let's hit the landscape right there, and then go hit 7 on your keypad, or just go right here and then go to edit mode by hitting tab or right here, and then go A, U, project, and wrap from view, project from view. And there you go, you can see it just projects from view, and we get that nice moss. But it's not totally yet realistic, so I'm just going to add a scale factor of, say, 10. That's looking much more realistic, and I also want to add some dirt, so go to search right here for dirt, and then we'll add this in place. Just searching right here, you can see I think this kind of looks good, so we'll add in this one, and then we'll just copy the values and paste them right here as we did for the moss, right? So let's just get it right here. I'm going to also name these, so Control J. From my previous tutorial, there's a card right there for the tutorial I show you how to two most common ways. And also I forgot a way right there is also using a reroute, but I'll do a separate tutorial on that probably as well. So let's get now the right here, and let's name this to moss or grass, and we're just going to delete this frame because we don't really need it, and I'm just going to hit Control J and type in dirt right there. Oops, get a value. So if you have a value, or you right click or you click escape. Now let's add these values. So need to apply a mix shader, so just apply right here a mix shader, and right here you can add this. Now our world is kind of weird, so we need to import a new material output, sorry, and let's just apply the, let's actually keep this organized, mix shader, and we're using the node wrangler, Control Shift click, and it will preview the material. So let's just add that in here to the first, and let's also drag this down actually towards here. And we don't want to, we are actually using cycles for this, but I don't want a lot of displacement, so let's just get rid of it. And let's pull out a wire from here and connect to the top value. So you can see that looks kind of realistic, but it doesn't still, because we need to throw this to like a 6 or actually 7. See, it's kind of weird. It's actually just putting the mesh in certain places. So now we are like here. I think this kind of looks good like with these, so let's just apply it. Also, you could use a factor, so say if you have an image, you could put that. Looks kind of nice right here, so let's just set our value to 0.3, and there we go. 0.3 looks nice. I'll also change it to 0.4. It also looks nice, but I'm going to change it to 0.3 just because, actually no, 0.6. Maybe 0.2 is better. Yeah, throw it to 0.2. You can see it's nice and good. So just do that, and also we could combine other things. You don't need to use a world. You could also use the procedural sky texture built into Blender, or you could buy the physical starlight and atmosphere add-on that I'm also going to buy later on, probably today. I don't know. I'm super pumped to buy that and I'll bring a total review on it. I promise. It's amazing. So let's change it to cycles right here. On Eevee, you can see it looks really good, but change it to cycles because it looks much realistic, as you can see. And since it kind of takes a long time, we're going to enable this denoise, and you can put this to 200, but just for test sakes and also to render much more faster, I'm going to put to 10, and then you could also multiply the resolution by 2. How you do that, you go right here and right here to 2, and you can see that brings up the resolution. So if we like to do that, we'll put to 2 and to 2. But we don't want that. Let's just get the resolution nice and low because we're not doing anything very special. Yep. So let's try to render this out and let's see how it looks, and then we'll go to see if there's some differences. So everything is looking good until now. So let's just finish off this scene with some compositing, and then we'll try to render. So everything now depends on how you get your textures to work. So if you don't like the result, just keep iterating textures. So let's switch this to a glare node, and let's control shift click, and you can really see the red colors. I'm adding a glare node, so also probably need to add another one in from streaks to fog glow, and just set it to 9. Probably you could also let's actually add a vignette effect. So let's add a blur node. Let's control shift click on it, and we'll do a 1. So what we now need to do is to add we'll just go ellipse mask. There you go. We are just going to scale these. Let's just go right here. And height. This is like totally procedural as well. Then what we need to add is the blur. So if you go right here, we need to apply these up just to get some blur right there. It's just to play around with the heights. I'm going to set this to 5 and the diameter 0.9. There we go. It's nice, and now just going to blur it like 500. Maybe that's too much. Maybe we're going to set this like to 300. So set it to 300 alpha overnode. We're going to drop this in here to our composite and throw and use the factor. So this is just drop in some color. I think we're done. So just control shift click and preview the alpha overnode. So it's probably something. Just probably need a color ramp and flip color ramp. There we go. That's flipped, so it's just to flip our box mask. And all we need to do is make this a nice black value. And there we go. Now it looks very much professional. And then we're just going to actually put this to 500. So just keep experimenting. I think, yeah, that adds a little bit of visibility to our scene. So guys, I did throw a material in here. So let's just render one more time. Guys, if you didn't watch those parts, I did have a lot of trouble with the material. I went through a few, tried to make mine, and then I ended up getting the material from my other scene, my original scenes, for inspiration for this video. So I hope you enjoy it. Looks like it's amazing. You can see our vignette. I'm so proud of this. So now we could just save our image by hitting save as or shift alt s. That's it, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do comment and like and subscribe. I hope this was helpful, at least for the vignette looking effect, and also from some inspiration for your next scene to make inside of Blender. So if you did like this and you want to continue see more, please do hit the like button and subscribe underneath the video, so I can continue making these videos. And if you want to be extra supportive, you can support me on Patreon by going to the link in the description. And you also want to look at the Blender Kit add-on, as I told you I was using on this video, which is definitely recommended. Even if you're not using materials for that, it's also recommended. You can go to the link in the description, and if you want to also follow me on Twitter, please do. You'll keep up to date with everything, but if not, just please subscribe. That will help me a lot, and also turn on the bell so you can be notified when things go out. So thank you so much for watching, guys, all the way to the end, and we'll see you next video.